Okay, you crime freaks, I have a story for you. This is about a chief of police, a rape, a murder, a prison sentence, an escape from prison, a capture, and a fresh update. In 1997, Amy Harrison was a 27-year-old teacher at Frank Tillery Elementary School in Rogers, Arkansas. On Sunday, November 9th, 1997, she went to the school alone to prepare lesson plans while a church service with roughly 250 to 300 people took place in the school cafeteria. Amy was then married to a Rogers police officer and described herself as meticulous and a keen observer. The suspect entered the teacher's lounge wearing a knit stocking cap, sunglasses, and dirty socks. Dirty socks, what the hell? The man carried a pistol and ensured he didn't touch surfaces. Amy arrived at the school early Sunday morning to prepare lessons. After some work, she went to the restroom in the teacher's lounge. When she emerged from the stall, she was confronted by a man pointing a gun. He forced her back into the bathroom, assaulted her on the floor, and then moved her to a nearby classroom where he did it again. Harrison later told police that her attacker wore no shoes, took her underwear, and tried to avoid leaving fingerprints. He also spoke in a way that suggested he might know her, making the encounter even more terrifying. During the assault, Amy felt a warm fluid on her leg. Thinking quickly, she wiped it with her sweatshirt and t-shirt. Police would later preserve those items as evidence. After the attacker fled, Amy called 911. She described the man's appearance, including his age and build. A composite sketch was made. Hundreds of men in the area were tested, but there was no DNA match for decades. Sadly, the trauma strained her marriage, and her husband, a police officer, struggled with the feelings of anger and helplessness. Eventually, the couple divorced. Investigators initially considered a cafeteria manager as a suspect, but ruled him out through DNA testing. To prevent the 6-year statute of limitations from expiring, detectives filed one of Arkansas's first John Doe warrants in 2003 that indicted the unknown attacker based solely on the DNA evidence. This case went cold for decades, but this legal step preserved the case indefinitely. Amy returned to teaching and tried to rebuild her life, but lived with the fear her attacker might still be in the community. She occasionally received updates from detectives, but the lack of a match left her feeling like the case might never be closed. Years later, on February 23, 2017, a vehicle pulled up beside a truck driven by James Appleton. James was then shot in the head by the person driving the unknown vehicle. James's body was later found in his truck. James happened to be the brother of Gateway's mayor. A witness recognized the vehicle, hastily fleeing the scene, and informed police. This led police to the door of Grant Hardin, the chief of police at the time, in a small town of Gateway, Arkansas, near the Mississippi border. In 2017, Hardin pleaded guilty to first-degree murder and received a 30-year prison sentence. When Hardin's DNA was collected for the murder case, it matched the sample taken from Amy Harrison's rape case 20 years earlier. Confronted with the evidence, Hardin pleaded guilty in 2019 to 2 counts of rape and was sentenced to 2 concurrent 25-year sentences. Judge Robin Green ordered that he serve 21 years before being eligible for parole, meaning he will be in his 80s before any chance of release is possible. Amy Harrison told the court that now she may be able to overcome the evil that he had done to her. While serving his sentence at the North Central Unit in Calico Rock, Arkansas, Hardin was considered a model inmate. The warden said that he had no disciplinary infractions and worked in the prison's kitchen, giving him a sense of purpose. However, this position and lack of security created an opportunity for escape. According to Arkansas Department of Corrections review, Hardin spent 6 months planning to escape the prison. Hardin would use a black Sharpie marker and laundry to create a makeshift uniform that resembled a correction officer's attire. He fashioned a fake badge from a soup can lid and hid these items in a trash can because it was not checked. Working on the back dock, he instructed a tower guard to open the gate, and the guard did so without verifying his identity. I wonder if that guy still has his job. Hardin walked out of the facility on May 25, 2025, and was not immediately detected. The warden noted that the prison staff was very lax on security and that Hardin did not have help from other inmates. He had even constructed a ladder from pallets in case he needed to scale the fence. He ended up not using it. Once free, Hardin hid in the rugged Ozark Mountains. He survived on food smuggled from the prison, water from a CPAP machine. He gets a CPAP machine in prison? He also consumed creek water, berries, and even ants. Investigators said he planned to remain in the woods for up to 6 months and then move west. The manhunt involved bloodhounds, drones, officers on horseback, and an elite U.S. Border Patrol team. He was then spotted a few times by rural residents, but evaded capture for nearly 2 weeks. On June 6, 2025, law enforcement officers and a U.S. Border Patrol agent found Hardin about 1.5 miles northwest of Calico Rock Prison near Moccasin Creek. When officers approached, Hardin briefly tried to run but was quickly tackled. A spokesperson for the Arkansas Department of Corrections said that he appeared exhausted from the week and a half on the run. His identity was confirmed by fingerprinting. He showed no injuries but was treated for dehydration. James Appleton's sister, Cheryl Tillman, the mayor of Gateway, said the capture was a big sigh of relief for her family and for the community. After the escape, an internal review led to the firing of 2 prison employees. I guess they didn't keep their job. And the suspension or demotion of several others for procedural failures. Legislators criticized the prison's misclassification of Hardin. His custody level had not been reviewed since 2019. The prison has since removed electric locks from certain gates and added cameras to eliminate blind spots. Hardin was moved to a maximum security prison. He pleaded not guilty to the escape charge, and a trial was set for later in 2025. In 2025, his escape charge was dropped. This is where our story ends. Grant Hardin will be in prison for a very long time. Please do me a favor by dropping a like, a comment, and subscribe.